Well, I had a subscriber emailing me to ask me about the Calibre 400, more specifically if the Calibre 400 does still have this issue. So this issue that we're talking about would be the jumping hands problem that was found in the Calibre 400 when it was first launched. So let me just rewind a little bit back 2 years. Alright, so 2 years ago when the Oris Aquis Calibre 400 first came out, when it first launched, the reviewer Sanjay from the channel Engineer Wannabe, alright, so he did a full review of his purchase. I think he purchased the Aquis Calibre 400 with his own money and all that. So he realized that there is a problem with the jumping hands, alright, or rather when you try to hack and synchronize the handset, the hands will sort of pop and jump about, and thereby giving you some problems when you're trying to do an accurate time setting. Alright.
When I pull the crown out to hack the movement, the minute hand jumps up or down a few minutes. And when I try to synchronize to a reference time and push the crown in, the minute hand jumps again, making it very difficult to set the watch accurately. Is this a known issue with the Calibre 400?
So that's not a good thing to have, because when you're trying to set time and when you press in the crown to sort of, engage the gears to set the clock, to set the time running, and then the minutes hand just sort of jumps a little bit, and I think that can be a little bit annoying, and of course it's a big problem to have on your watch. And for today's video, we're just going to check if the Calibre 400 still has this problem, because it's been 2 years since Calibre 400 was launched, and I think many watch fans out there, including myself, we were a little bit worried and skeptical, to buy a watch with a new in-house movement that has this problem. So let me just check on these two watches with Calibre 400. Alright, so again, thank you to Oris Singapore for loaning in these watches for me to review. So the problem came when you're trying to disengage the crown to set time. So as you can see, I've already pulled out the crown. The second hand has now stopped. Alright, so we call this hacking, and of course I can check time and set to my desired time using time.is website or anything that I prefer. Alright, so let's say if it's indeed 11:10 now, so normally the second hand would be at the 12 o'clock, but I'm just showing you this very quickly. So if I push in the crown to engage the movement, alright, you can see that it doesn't jump about anymore. Alright, so I have done this many times prior to filming this part of the video. Alright, so I'm going to do it a few more times. I hope Oris they don't mind me pulling in and pushing in the crown so many times. So same again, I'm going to pull out, alright, the crown, and when I push in, it doesn't jump about anymore. So let me just so-called set time to an entirely different time now. So let's say it's 7 minutes before 5 o'clock. So I've got the time that I want, and I push in the crown. Alright, so here you can see the second hand continue to move, showing that the movement is engaged and there is no more jumping hands problem. So let's go on to the 7-dial version of the watch. Alright, so pull out the crown. Alright, you can see that it no longer jumps about, and then I go to a new timing. Alright, so it's 10:40 and I push in the crown. Alright, here you can see again the problem has more or less been solved. At the time of the launch of the Calibre 400, there were some buyers and reviewers talking about this problem. Alright, they call it jumping hands or stuttering hands problem, but it seems like Oris have sort of improve the situation, sort of solve the problem here. Okay, in the first place, it was never recognized as a problem. In this case, I think the simplest way to describe the problem would be when you were trying to disengage the movement and re-engage the movement. You sort of need to wiggle the crown a little bit to make sure the clutch is engaged properly. Alright, so I'm not sure what they have done or what they have improved upon. It does look like this issue is totally gone. Alright, it's history. And I guess this shows that for people who were previously worried about this issue here on the Calibre 400 movement, I think this issue has been solved, and there is no reason to avoid this movement anymore. After all, it's a movement with very long power reserve. We're looking at about 5 days power reserve, and there is a 10-year warranty on the Calibre 400 movement. So I think you shouldn't let this problem set you back from considering an Oris with this movement anymore. Right? So at least for myself, I am no longer worried about this problem if I would have considered or purchased a watch with this movement. So this is Andy in Singapore signing off. See you soon for more videos. Bye bye.